Hello, and welcome to our first visibility training. This is part of the Secret Garden, but it's exclusive for the paying members of the Soulful Biz Club. We're going to have one of these trainings per month. Why per month? Because I really want you to see that as a journey outside of your comfort zone, right? Visibility is something that we grow over time, and feeling comfortable with visibility, with outreach, with collaboration, etc., is like a muscle that you build. So every training will be accompanied by a challenge. Not something that will take you forever. This is not the point. I really want this to be, sustainable and doable for you, but in a way that you stretch yourself a little bit every month, and that you can then grow your audience, have more eyes on your work, more eyes on your business, and more clients in the end. So our first topic today, I think is very important. Stop doing visibility alone. Now, you know that I started my first business in 2017, and this was like a buzzword. The first time I had heard about visibility, that it was important, that you need to get there, that you need to have people to see, your website, to see your offers, etc., etc. And we often have misconceptions around what we need to do exactly to be more visible. So we often think that visibility looks like this. Let's create content alone. So you're going to blog, you're going to have a podcast, you're going to create posts for social media, you're going to create content on Substack, and you're going to write lots of notes in the Substack notes. Let's do that. And maybe you even think, oh, then I should do all of it, because if I'm in all the places, then at some point someone will find me. Hopefully lots of people will find me. And I think you know my point of view on this. You know that this is not at all what I believe we should do. Also because, first of all, it is not sustainable. You cannot be everywhere when you're a business of one. Even if you have help with a marketing assistant or a VA, whatever, you can't be everywhere. That's just not doable long term. But other than that, even if you were everywhere, it wouldn't even guarantee that you would grow your audience necessarily. So this is really something I want to underline, and I want you to remember, because I know that I felt this way and I believe that. And I know a lot of people believe that as well, to think that, okay, I feel shame or guilt or pressure that I am not able to be on all the platforms. I'm not able to blog every week and record a podcast and be on social media several times a day and create several notes, etc., etc. But if I was able to do that, then I would be successful. And that could not be further from the truth. You'd been burnout. That at some point it's going to happen. But it's not the fact of creating content alone that is going to make you successful. The second misconception is to think, okay, if I create lots of content, then I have eyes on, I have subscribers and followers and people know me. So I'm going to wait for opportunities to appear on a summit. Maybe someone's going to invite me, or I'm going to be invited on a podcast, or I'll be invited to write guest posts, because then my reputation will precede me. So that can happen, but that takes a long time, because for someone more famous, more visible than you, with a bigger audience than you, to discover you and decide this person who has a small audience is actually a great guest for my summit, or is actually a great guest for my podcast, well, you have to be visible first. How are they going to find you? You know? The third point is following trends, trying to catch the masses' attention. So usually they happen in that order. You know, we create content alone, we try to do all the things, we hope for an opportunity to appear, and then it doesn't really happen or not as much as we need to. So we're going to follow trends, trying to catch the masses' attention. You know, people do that, people do this, post 5 notes per day, create reels, be on TikTok, start threads, be on X, whatever, you know, which is not necessarily the right approach either. And then the fourth misconception that I could think of was then what happens is we double down on the quantity of content when it's not working. Okay, so I tried with 1 blog post a week. I'm going to create 2 or 3. What if I do more quantity of content? At some point, something is going to change. But in reality, content helps, of course, but it helps only if it gets discovered. So there are different things to help your content be discovered, and we're going to see this in various trainings in the future. I cannot cover everything today, of course. Opportunities rarely fall from the sky. They are like fruits that you can pick once you have planted the seeds and the seeds have turned into a tree and the tree is bearing fruit. Then you can pick it. I do not think, I'm looking back into my experience, I've spoke at a few summits and conferences. I had to apply for each of them, and I appeared on a few podcasts, and I was invited, but that did not happen. Like, I had to wait probably 3 years before I was invited to podcasts. And that happened only because I had been on the summits that I had applied for. And as far as guest posting, I appeared on some guest posts. I mean, on some on some blogs. I wrote for some blogs, but they were friends. So it was never someone out of nowhere who said, could you please write a guest post for me because I think you're amazing, which, you know, sadly, I really believed would happen. I really believed for a long time, if I create great quality content and I'm present on social media and I'm engaging, then someone is going to notice me. It's a bit of like this X factor thing, like someone's going to notice, there'll be eyes on me and they will propel my career. Well, my love, we need to be the propellers of our own career. But interestingly, this also does not happen in isolation. And that's another thing I want to reframe your mindset around, because even if you know, okay, I can't wait for opportunities, I have to create my own. And we still think that we need to do stuff on our own. We need to create that content more and more. We need to do things. And it feels like really rowing a boat against the stream of the river. And it doesn't have to be this way. It can be very, very easy, in fact. If you're seeking attention or following trends to have attention is a fast burning fire. You might have the attention and then, the next day you don't have it anymore. So it's not sustainable. It's not long term. And then the fourth point is relationships is the sustainable way to build trust with the right people. Relationships. Now, first mindset shift, visibility is not a solo performance. It is a web of relationships. So before you're thinking, oh my God, I need visibility this year, what you need to equate visibility with is people. If your goal this year or next year, and it should be at some point your goal, to be more visible, to have more eyes on your business, this means essentially you're going to have to speak with people. Why is it hard? Why, as a highly sensitive entrepreneur, woman, maybe you're shy, maybe you're an introvert, maybe you're neurodivergent, and it feels like, oh my God, I have to talk to people. Because we've been told that it means put yourself out there, be consistent, post more, be completely ready, have all your back end perfect, and of course it's important to have some things in place, but not everything has to be in place before you can actually start to just talk to people. So it can be hard because we're introverts and we don't do well in crowded rooms. Like for me, put me in a conference, in a real person conference room and ask me to mingle. That's going to be hard. But I have tactics, which I'm sure you have as well. I'll just go with one person or two people that I find, are a bit outside of the crowd and maybe they are, I don't know, their vibe is kind of something I feel I can make my way towards. But it would be so exhausting. I don't want to do that, we don't want to small talk. We don't want to, every time, I know lots of people go on Facebook and have Facebook groups. I hate Facebook groups. I really dislike it with a passion. LinkedIn, oh my God, it's just feel like, oh, you have to prove yourself. You have to show that you have something smart to say, or you phrase it in a way that is smarter than anyone else. And you have this, and then when you go on LinkedIn really, and you look at the way people phrase their bio, what they do, it just makes no sense to me. Like, okay, for instance, I'm a visibility coach. Oh, I empower leaders to grow their communication skills so they can finally shine their light. Well, what does that mean? You're a visibility coach. You know what I mean? Like we try to make it so big, inventing titles. Well, we're not we, they're trying to do that. So this really doesn't sit well with most of us. So that's why when you think, oh, you have to just talk to people, you're imagining talking to people in that context. And that's not what it's like. Because if you're an introvert, you're really good at listening. You're really good at interacting with people and showing empathy, but at a smaller scale, right? Having a little, for me, the perfect friendship date is to be 2 people, 3 people, 4 people max, including myself, at a coffee shop and just sitting there and catching up, have you been, and how are the kids, and how are your pets, and what are your plans for this summer, and what have you been through lately, and what have been your challenges. We like to go deep, and we like to do that in small committees, in small groups. And there's no reason why you couldn't do that for your business as well. Another reason why it might be hard is competition. So again, we have this image, talk to people, visibility, and we see all these other people who do something that is similar to us. And this is something I've felt myself and something that I've heard from some of my clients telling me, oh, I'm trying to interact with people, but these people are trying to sell something themselves. So why would I speak to them? Like, it's not like I'm going to speak to them and it's going to end in a sales or in them becoming my client. And so I think, again, it's seeing things in a wrong way. There's no wrong way, but in a way that is not helpful, because it makes you see that you don't have a voice, you don't have power, you don't fit in the room. And what's the point if everyone is going to put forward what they do and everyone is going to try to sell, right? But again, let's go back to my coffee shop idea, and you're meeting with 3 or 4 friends, and maybe someone does something just as you. Maybe sometimes someone does something different. But the point of this coffee chat, the point of having this moment together, it's not to brag. It's not to try and pitch yourself. It's not to try and have your next client. It is just to connect. How's it been for you? It's not to say, oh, you know this, but I know this too, or I know better. I would phrase it better. It's not about that. If I meet today with someone who does exactly as me, I want to know, how did they start? What's their journey been like? There's something for us to learn from people who are walking the same path as us. And these people, they have audiences that are similar to our audiences or to the people we wish were in our audience. This is where collaboration overrides competition. We might find it hard because there's a fear of judgment, a fear of rejection, imposter syndrome. Those are very valid. I'm not going to make a course right now on imposter syndrome. And I don't think it's something that you really, talk yourself out of. It's more something that you heal through increasing your self-esteem and through seeing for yourself how you are actually delivering results and things like that. But this is for another conversation. It's valid to have that and to acknowledge. It's hard for me to put myself out there, to speak to people that I don't know yet, to to invite someone to collaborate with me because I'm scared that I'm not ready. I'm scared that they're going to judge me. I'm scared that they're going to say no. I'm scared that I don't really know what I'm talking about. I'm not an expert here. And again, drop all these labels. Just talking to people, to humans who have probably exactly the same fears as you. And who do not want to be judged, who do not want to be rejected, who maybe have imposter syndrome and probably don't feel ready, no matter how far they are on their business journey. I know this is something that you've heard before. People are too focused on themselves and on what you're going to think about them to worry about you and what they think of you. Really, everyone is pretty self-centered. Which brings me to my next mindset shift. We're scared of what we don't know. This is why it's hard. You imagine how people are, what they think. We make assumptions on how far they are, what's going on for them, how much they've accomplished, how certain they are of themselves, of their skills, etc., etc. But this is all assumptions. It's how we perceive them from the outside. So we're scared of what we don't know and we're scared of appearances. But people are just people and people aren't scary. And if you were to speak to just one person, it's not scary to just say, hi, how are you? How's your experience been? What do you do? And how's it been for you this year? Do you think that the industry has changed? I'm just, here sharing questions that are just top of my mind if I were to meet one person in my industry. How did you get started? How do you see yourself in a few years? And do you see ways in which we could perhaps collaborate and that would feel good for our energy and our capacity at the moment? Just ideas. Okay, so this brings me to your challenge this month. And it's very simple, very simple. It's just talk to people. Your challenge, and I put a goal, but maybe you have more than 10. But my challenge for you is book 10 coffee chats online, in person if people are around you, but online is fine, with real humans in or out of your industry, but people who share an audience with you. And do not cheat. Don't take people you already know. Okay, here we're reaching out to new people that you haven't had coffee chats with. Okay, so a little step by step for you, because I know it helps us to really, ground ourselves in real actions. The first action is to simply make a list of 20 people in or out of your industry that you would like to meet and collaborate with. If you don't know where to start, you just go in the search, go in your home on Substack and go in the search bar and look for a keyword that's related to your industry. Yes. And then see who appears there, see who you like, think, oh, this person's actually she looks nice or he looks nice, and they look like they're talking about similar topics or topics that are, adjacent to mine. And I would love to maybe meet and see what they are like. So make a list of these 20 people. Then you're going to write your message, and just below here, the video, I'm going to share a template with you so you can adapt that to your voice so that it feels good for you. But I'm trying to remove the obstacles as much as possible. Then once you have that message, you pick a time, you're going to regulate and ground yourself. You can use one of the videos, around nervous system regulation that I've shared. There's 4 available now, I think. Yes. Or you can just simply take a stone. I like to take this stone because it's just the size of my hand. Maybe you can't see it because I'm very small on the camera. There, a little stone just to ground yourself, to remember that you are a human being in your body and not let your mind override everything. And then just send the messages, maybe all at once. Maybe you book a time, like for 1 hour, I'm going to send 20 messages. Why I say 20 when the goal is to have 10 coffee chats? Because you're going to get no's. You're going to get also no answers, and that's completely fine. But once you've sent the messages, your job is done, and you take it from there. When they answer, maybe you have a Calendly link or Google Meet link that, that people can book a spot with you, a coffee chat with you of 20, 30 minutes max. So 10 coffee chats will take you 3 hours in the month. It's an investment, but you don't know what can come out of it. And usually good things come out of it. Relationship come out of it. Even if it's not like, after the coffee chat, we know exactly what we're going to do. We're going to collaborate on this and this and that. It doesn't even matter. What matters if you have built a thread between you and another human that you didn't know before, and they are potentially collaborators now or in the future. Okay, that's it for now. Of course, after you need to have a system in place that makes you able to remember who you talked to and get in touch again, etc., etc. But for now, this month is just about building these first 10 threads, these 10 first connections. Another mindset shift I want to share with you. You don't grow if you stay the same. If you read that challenge and you're thinking, oh my God, I've never done that before. This is not who I am. I don't know if I can do it. Take a breath. Okay. We are all becoming. You are becoming. You are becoming every day. Okay. The person that you are today isn't the person that you will be after this challenge. If you do it, once you do it, after the 10 coffee chats you've had, you'll be the person who has had 10 coffee chats. You'll be the person who has reached out to 20 strangers. And you know what that will do to your nervous system? Your nervous system thinks maybe this is crazy. This is not safe. This is, wow, so uncomfortable. But after doing it with 20 people, your nervous system will think, I've done this before. I've done this before. I could do it again. There's nothing scary about it. Nothing terrible happened. Actually, good things happened. So I can do it. I can do it again. If you find it difficult to do it the first time, I didn't write this. It's just an idea that pops to me right now. The idea is that you can close your eyes and you can visualize yourself. You can really have this, or you can script it if you prefer journaling, but having this future vision of yourself that you are speaking with someone you like, that maybe you don't know them yet, but you have seen them online or something, and you think, oh, that would be amazing to be their friends or to be in connection with them. Imagine that you're having a coffee chat with them, and it is completely normal, completely natural, and you're laughing together, right? Having that vision makes you much more able to take the step to do it. Okay, and then my last mindset shift for today. How about instead of trying to get 20 yeses, that's why I say we're trying to get 10 yeses, because we imagine that 10 people might not answer or say no. I love the idea, the mindset idea of collecting rejections. And the rejections mean nothing else than data that you are trying. And then you might be surprised by the results, right? When I started about 2 years ago, pitching my services to people I knew, people I knew less, strangers sometimes. I did some cold pitching. Not my favorite, but I did it. I went in thinking, I am not writing to get the job. I am writing to collect data that I'm trying. and I might get the job and I might not get the job. I might be, what's the word I'm looking for? I can't find the word. I'm tired. I might be, what is it? Well, you got it. I might be, oh my goodness, this is me when I'm tired. I'm so sorry. They might not answer to me. They might just ignore me there. I might be ignored. This is the end of the day. I should not make videos at the end of the day. I might be ignored. I might be rejected. I might be judged. How dare she reach out to me? Oh my God. So this is what you're doing now. Lots of things could happen in their heads. I don't care. It's not my business. My business is that I need to grow my relationship wealth. I need to put myself out there. I need to be in connection with people. It's going to help me. It's going to help my family. It's going to help me in the end collaborate. So know more people. So find clients. So get money for my job, for my work that I'm really good at or I'm getting good at. I'm learning to be good at it. Wherever you are on your journey, you don't have to be the perfect, most amazing, professional that you could be is good enough. And you need to do what you need to do, So let's just collect rejections and let's see what happens next. Anyway, so I hope that you found this helpful. I invite you to comment on the video and tell us how you feel about this, what was the most helpful. If you're in, please put the comment that you're in for the challenge. We are today the 10th of June. So the challenge will end on the 10th of July. And this is where we have another challenge. So your challenge this month is to reach out to 20 people you would like to meet and collaborate with and book 10 coffee chats with 10 of them with real humans. Okay? Let me know, and I wish you a beautiful rest of your week. Bye.